Warning! This podcast contains amazing content
and strong language.
What's the day? What?
Clap. We go like 3, 2, 1, and then we clap.
You can clap your arse cheeks, Hamish.
I'm Natasha.
And I'm Juliana.
And you're watching Back Catalogues.
Today we're speaking to Permo, a punk rock band from Glasgow.
Introduce yourself, guys.
Yeah, tell us your names and your roles in the band.
Yeah, I'm Ross, and I'm the singer/guitarist.
Yeah, I'm Hamish. I play the bass.
I'm Ross, and I play the drums.
Cool. Very cool.
Nice.
So, how and when did you guys start the band?
When was it actually?
Well, it's about March 2019.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
Quite recent then.
Aye. Our first gig was nearly 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago on the 7th of June, I think.
Oh, coming up. That's nice.
Where was that?
Aye. Behind the wall in Falkirk.
Are you all in Falkirk? Are you all from there?
Aye.
Yes.
So
Aye.
you're Falkirk based, you're not Glasgow based. Okay. Falkirk's just outside of Glasgow. It's a shithole.
I'm taking
So how did you guys meet? Like, did you study together or?
Me and Hamish worked together, and I know Ross at school.
Aye.
So I kind of brought them together.
Yeah.
Aye.
The Holy Trinity.
Holy Trinity.
Me and Hamish were actually in a band before, and then we sacked that off to fucking start a new one. And we're looking for also a drummer. So I actually messaged Ross to know if he knew anyone, because I didn't know who to contact really. And Ross is a guitarist naturally, but he offered to play drums. So
multi-instrumentalist. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Didn't know how to play them.
Sick on the recordings.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I never ever played drums. I've still not even got my own snare drum or nothing like that. I just
using borrowed
pick other
cymbals.
folks.
Beg, borrow and steal, that's what it's all about though. Like,
Yeah, big time.
I think, yeah, especially with drums, like, you must have such a difficult time going to shows and
Yeah.
having to take all your own shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because I take all his cymbals in the car for him, so he doesn't. Oh, it's lined up.
It's a sweet deal. Like, it's a sweet deal.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I hope they all help each other set up though, because like there's nothing worse when you go to a venue and you see like the drummer just freaking out trying to set up and all the guitarists were just like on stage waiting. They're ready to go and the drummer's like, ah!
I get up quite early in that.
You what?
I'll get up early and I'll stick it all up. I'm quite cool and calm. Like, no good. Nah, no, I'm not actually. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about there. But like, I like to take my time.
That's good. That's
That's how I'll put it.
Don't make
Yeah,
mistakes
well
when you take your time.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, exactly. And I never make mistakes.
Now playing Heroin by Permo.
Try to break the habit, but she's worse than smoking crack. She's
What's it like being a punk rock band in Scotland? Would you say like new punk rock style is as well received as the older style punk?
I think it depends on the demographic. Like if you're talking 40-year-old dads, then that they're loving it as like a big time. But there's obviously like a resurgence with punk now, especially in Scotland and Glasgow and stuff. So a lot of folks seem to be taking us on well. I'd say.
We'll always get folk moving when we're playing. Like we've never had a gig that's people have just been kind of standing there, no enjoying themselves. You get what I mean? So
yeah,
it's always been pretty decent. We've had a good reception. Like
it's difficult to not move about to punk. Like I couldn't imagine going to a punk show and just standing still like an actual pedo. Like standing my behind. Like I'm really enjoying myself, guys. No movement.
We played in Blackpool with about 9 folk. That wasn't very fun. But
no,
aye, we done all right.
Aye.
Couple of sympathy claps.
You need to do the shite shows to get to the good ones.
Aye,
They're just
definitely.
Pack and parcel of it. Do you know what I mean? It's just how it goes.
Yeah, one time.
So, who are your biggest inspirations in music?
I always like when I was growing up. I liked like bands like the Libertines and the Arctic Monkeys and things like that. That was like kind of got me into like decent music. Nice. And then when I started hearing bands like Slaves and Idols that were playing kind of heavier stuff that I was like quite into, it made me want to be in that kind of band, like going to the gigs and like feeling the energy and all that, and getting stuck in about the pits and all that. That was what I wanted. I wanted to be making folk do that. So it was like bands like that kind of inspired me.
Idols are amazing as well, like from the newer side, like the punk.
Yeah,
just
very cool.
The way that they're lyrically, they're just it's so smart. The way that they produce their music and what they produce is class. So good.
Aye. I'd definitely say like Idols is like mainly for picking up drums in that. John Beavis is an absolute unit.
Yeah.
Like so, like obviously you're just wanting to be like him. But in terms of music, I'm actually quite similar to Hamish. Like Arctic Monkeys growing up, I wanted to be a wee Alex Turner wannabe.
Oh so, no, really?
One of those, like I definitely one of those.
That's an embarrassment.
I've actually got a new pair of shades. That's quite Alex Turner-esque, like, so you could call it that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Windows down, not a kernel.
Yeah, intense.
A wee bit. But I'd say similar to Hamish, like Idols and Slaves, obviously growing up and stuff, like it just makes you want to more like give an experience for folk that you experienced when you were that age, and you could go to gigs and like fling yourself about and that.
Definitely.
For me personally, when I was playing on guitar, it was Nirvana were the big one. Everybody has a wee Nirvana phase at some point, and just happen to be about the right age for that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Nirvana's just, I think all of the bands that you've mentioned are definitely such strong foundations to like base yourself off of when you're going into a certain type of genre like yourselves in punk. Like,
yeah,
they're so good to base yourself off of. And as you said, like everybody goes to a Nirvana phase. I'm sure everyone goes to an Arctic Monkeys phase. Like you go through your Idols phase if it's still going on now because they're still releasing such good stuff. But yeah, for sure, it's really interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, and a good mixture of like good music, good lyrics as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
really stands out.
Very nice.
So we've seen that you guys have a single coming out soon. Can you tell us a bit about
that? Well, the idea for the song came about when I was just sitting kind of thinking about things that I didn't miss to like lockdown. So it was like I wanted to go back to like the pub and that, but there's always that cunt in the pub that's talking shite and like just as food sell, and that was one of the things that I was like can't be arsed with that really, and that was where the ideas for the song came from. And I think I wrote like one or two verses, and then we had already wrote like the basic structure of the song, and then Ross wrote the rest of the lyrics. So I'll let him.
That's the main. When it comes to writing songs, that's how it seems to work mostly for us. Like Hamish will have an idea, and then he'll do what he can with that, and then pass it on to me, and we'll kind of fine tweak it together as a band. But it's quite relatable, the idea behind it. Because not got patience.
It was mainly we when we're writing songs, we tend to write like the main riff first, or like the bit that's going to like catch your ear, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then we'll try and like the lyrics normally come second, so we'll try and fit the lyrics in to something that we've already wrote. So like we'll be at practice and we'll just be like kind of jamming, and we'll be like, that sounds fucking banging, and then we'll go away and see what lyrics we've got written down, because me and Ross used to just try and like write lyrics on the toilet at work. We'd be sneaking into the toilet and just sitting there on our phones, like just writing lyrics and shit. And then we'd take that to practice and just see if they fitted the songs we'd wrote. It's not really normal way to write songs, but it seems to work for us.
Yeah, I don't think there's a as you say, there's no normal way to write. There's no right or wrong way. Like it's just how it works, how you fit it in, for sure. And I think like if your lyrics come second, they come second, and then you fit it around that. But that's like an interesting topic, because I feel like a lot of people wrote songs after coming out of lockdown about what they missed. So having what you guys didn't miss and don't miss is nice.
That's just Hamish summed up though.
I think maybe oh well.
Fucking negative.
Dark mixture.
Dark mixture.
An angry man.
That makes sense though. And I mean, it's so true. Like I feel also now that things are opening back up, it's almost like people have that sort of internalized social anxiety about going back out to a pub now. Like, oh, it's all fucking fine. We can go out and get pissed and whatever. But there's so many aspects of it where you're like, you'd rather just leave it.
Would you sit and listen to some cunt telling you how many more noses climbed during lockdown?
Where did you record this new single?
We recorded it at Mark Morrow's studio, so he's based in just like outside Edinburgh.
Okay.
In Edinburgh. Grant.
Is it in Edinburgh? Is it?
Aye.
All right.
So
Mark Morrow.
Sorry, Mark.
So is that like did you have to do that just after the COVID restrictions sort of got taken off? Like, how did it work? Did you just go in and I didn't even know they were still allowing people to record in stuff.
Aye, so as long as it's like socially distant. So I think when we recorded Heroin with Mark and Ultraviolence, we were allowed people in the one room. So we were allowed me, Hamish and Ross in the one room. And then when we were recording the tunes for the EP that's coming out, we had to like stay. I think two of us were allowed in the one studio, and then the other two had to go through.
Or two.
Aye.
Including Mark. Right,
aye.
My maths there.
That must have been fucking weird though, like having to do it separately. If you're all
we were at the corner. I had a chair at the door, like wanting to see what's going on.
It's a weird one having to do it. What's the name of the single?
Matryoshka.
Matryoshka. What does that mean?
It's just the name for one of the wee Russian dolls. I think literally it means like little matron or something. Right. But it was more the metaphor of being full of yourself for the wee dolls.
Oh, that's cool. Very nice. Yeah. Subliminal meanings.
Yeah, we saw the name of the
plus
single.
It sounds cool, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw the name.
Soviet.
We were struggling. We were like, we're not going to say the name of it until we hear what it's actually called.
We probably know you can say it right, to be honest.
Matryoshka, now we know.
Now we know. That's cool. That's a really interesting concept as well. It ties in really nicely with what you're talking about in the song. Very cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
See, it's not just loud, angry music.
No, I think most of the lyrics are actually really good on their part. It's just that if folk can understand what Ross is saying, like
a bit of an accent.
Well, I was we were talking about this because I was like, you don't sound Scottish when you are singing. Like, you almost sound like northern English. Like, I was trying to place it, but I wouldn't say that you like outwardly sound very, very Scottish.
I think it's quite hard to like rhyme stuff in a Scottish accent and no sound pretentious.
Yeah.
Like some bands do it quite well, but I think for us it just wouldn't fucking work.
Either sound like full on Biffy Clyro or I go kind of Cockney, so it's neither or.
I think even Biffy Clyro, there's only certain songs that it's like very prominent. There's a lot of their songs that's very sort of like flatlined accent that you can't place. Like, it's not predominantly English or American or Scottish or whatever. It's only certain words, but you're right, rhyming becomes difficult when you have to do it for an accent.
Yeah, and I feel like when you sing, your accent is less pronounced, anyways. Usually.
Yeah,
Aye.
for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's like also depending on who your target market is. Like, if you're wanting to sing a song and you're wanting to have it in a strong Scottish accent, your best bet's selling it to Americans because they just cream their pants over it.
Flamers.
Literally,
they really?
Yeah, they fucking love it. Like that. I released an EP when I was 18, and it was like folk acoustic, and we did like Grace and Can't Help Falling in Love with You, and like all the songs that I was sort of known for on like from singing from busking, and I recorded it all in a Scottish accent. And then the biggest place that we sold was like China, Poland, and America because of the accent. People are like,
I wouldn't have thought.
What, they go mad for it, or
they pure fucking love it, especially if it's because I sang Grace, and like obviously that's an old Irish song, but if you sang it with like your true accent, like people were just going mad for it because it's the way it should be sung. That's what they were saying. So but then like you try and sing like, I don't know, like a Lana Del Rey song in a Scottish accent, you sound like a fucking reprobate. So
I think if
always
Ross
ends
was
up
singing
not being
in
your
his
accent, because nobody talks like that. Like when you have to say all the words properly, because you can't sing in slang because it never makes any fucking sense and nothing rhymes. Like it's really hard.
If Ross was singing in his accent, we'd sound like a heavy metal Proclaimers tribute band.
That'd be good.
Get as far away from the Proclaimers as possible. For sure. They're just not something that you want to be tied into purely because you're Scottish. No thanks.
I actually love them, to be honest. I do love them a wee bit.
Of course you do. Somehow that doesn't surprise me, to be really honest, especially after seeing your fucking sunglasses.
Don't diss them, man. Don't diss them.
So what's been your favourite venue to play so far?
Audio in Glasgow, I'd say.
I'd say the same. That was like a brilliant gig.
Yeah, mainly because of the audience as well.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So was it the audience that made it stick out for you?
The place was fucking mental.
Was it?
Aye. There's a video that my wife took, and there's folk getting like slammed into the front of the stage and everything. I didn't realise at the time, but it looked fucking mental.
Because you're fucking mad at it.
I was
Jesus fuck, man. Like,
that's really
playing everything at 100 mile an hour.
So when was that gig?
That was the last
right
gig
before lockdown.
Yeah, literally like
March, 13th of March or something last year.
Oh, that's right before.
Yeah, I remember one of my pals, Matt. I got a text after. What I was supposed to go back to his just for like shits and gigs and that, but he was like, I've actually got home. I'm sweating like fuck and I'm coughing like fuck. Do not come here. And I remember like hugging him in that after the gig. I was like, fuck's sake. Like I was shaking my pants. But it was like
actually at first we all thought we were gonna die if we
literally nobody knew anything about it. There was no testing or nothing like that.
Yeah,
but
it was strange. The first lockdown
those days are gone.
Intense. No one in the streets and nothing.
Yeah.
No thanks. Yeah.
We're looking forward to your London gig in December at the Shacklewell Arms. Do you have any gigs planned after that, like around the UK or even outside?
Yeah, I think before that we've got a few shows in England. I think we've got one in Cambridge will know better than me, but that London one's in December.
One at the Jacaranda in Liverpool in July, and then I think I don't know what ones have been announced and what ones haven't. We've got another one. We've got another one in Liverpool. I know, and there's one in Manchester. We've got a few lined up. Like,
yeah,
that's really cool.
Are they all like quite near each other in terms like in time wise? So it's like almost.
I think some of two of them's in the same weekend. I think one's on the Monday and one's on the Saturday or something.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck at fucking travelling and hanging out your arms.
Oh.
It's going to be intense.
Yeah, but that's the good thing about tour.
Yeah.
Especially constantly fucked.
And
having a good time.
That's true. Especially if he's come down here. I mean, fucking Hackney Downs is far from here, but like, I think we should definitely get a drink in or something.
Yeah, we'll definitely come to that show.
Yeah,
we'll come. Be fun.
We'll come along. We'll bring some people.
Nice one, man.
Of course. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you can come and try your shot down at London. I don't know how it's going to fade up with some fucking three Scottish guys.
I think we're like Scottish punk in London will go down well.
Yeah, I think it's just mostly just one of us out of the four of us will probably end up fighting because it's just the fact of being Scottish and in London. It's just
Odds are on Hamish.
Yeah, I was going to say Hamish is there.
Now playing Matryoshka by Permo.
What's your funniest gigging memory or favourite memory from playing together?
It was quite funny when Ross forgot how to play a song and I had to like mouth the drums to him. So like we're standing on stage and he's looking at me with this blank expression going, I don't know how to play this. And I just had to go to make him remember how to play the fucking song. And then he went, oh, aye, right. And then just fucking went and played the whole
I know that song.
Aye.
What the fuck?
Like, when we played it fucking 30,000 times, it's like standing in front of a crowd there about, I don't know how many folk were there, but he just obviously drew a blank. I'm fucking.
Were you steaming?
They'd never mind the buzzcocks on the stage.
Aye, I was steaming. Nah, I don't think it was actually. I think I'm just stupid.
Fair enough.
But a majority of the memories is just generally Hamish being an absolute fucking bomb scare. Like, there's no specific memories. Like.
I'm banned for getting a mic.
Why? No, get him on the mic.
No, they want me to have a mic. I've banned myself for having a mic because I just talk back in between the songs.
So funny.
I'm like, we've got a song about how folk on Twitter are fucking just annoying, and every fucking gig I'm steaming and I'm like, doing the mic, who's got Twitter? And then everybody's like, aye, we've all got Twitter because they're all fucking young people that use the internet. And I'm like, well, this song's about how much I fucking hate Twitter. And then I just start
it's proper like drunk dash speech at a 60th party, like, oh, what, like you hear the feedback in the microphone and the it's hilarious.
What the fuck? I know,
It's
please
brilliant.
do that down south. It'll be so funny.
Yeah,
It'll be
definitely.
so fucking funny.
So you talk about often being drunk and stuff. What is your best hangover remedy?
Depends how drunk I was.
I think it was just a good sleep, like a solid kip, and no, I can't say that one actually.
You can say what you want. Say what you want.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm
Fine.
taking. Eh?
Why you don't?
I think that's a straight cure. Like it's just straight endorphins, serotonin. Like it goes straight to the head, and it's just I don't know. It's just a burst of energy, isn't it? And then of course I actually reward myself when I wake up and I've like poured myself a glass of water. Like I'm like, you're a good cunt. When I just like I'll lean over, I'm like, oh, nice wee surprise, wee jug of water. I can't even mind pouring it.
You do it before you go to bed so that when you wake up, you know that you've got it. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I'll
so smart.
I'll like lead my hand down the side of the bed, just searching for it.
Nice. That's a good one. Good idea.
I'd probably say West Bolt Iron Brew.
Iron brew.
That's Tasha's remedy as well.
Absolutely. You still get the old recipe down here as well because there's this. You still get the
Oh, I
nice
know
thing.
the sugar tax.
That dead
Yeah.
stock.
So you can, and they call all the wee corner shops. You can you can get them. At one point when I discovered that they still had it down here, I remember going to the corner shop and just taking a tenner and just getting a tenner worth of iron brew cans because they were all of the old recipe, and I just like had them in the fridge for stock. Like,
it's wasted on you. Like, it's definitely wasted on you. I'm craving one.
I'll bring you up one when I next come up. I'll bring up 3 cans for you.
Respect.
You can all get a can. I'll smuggle it back in. Nice. So, do you feel that punk is a good way to get political messages across to younger generations?
It certainly helped me. Like, not even just I feel like artists are entitled to their own opinion, but it wouldn't hurt to keep it to themselves and stuff like that. But I feel like even nowadays, if you're not really that into music, then it's not really got that much of a meaning. I feel like a lot of people listen to music for the music and know the lyrics or the message in it.
Okay.
So a lot of folk are listening to idols just because they sound heavy.
Yeah.
And it's quite, the flow of the lyrics is quite upbeat and stuff like that, and they won't actually look into it properly.
Okay.
But I still feel like it's definitely got a relevant place in getting a message across to like a certain demographic of folk that can understand it. You know what I mean?
Aye. Sure. But I think it is a good way of getting your message out there. But I think if people are listening to that type of music, they're more inclined to be like
left wing,
or like you could be preaching to the choir a bit.
Yeah.
But as a medium to get your message out there, if you can get like big enough and you want to spread that message, then but for us, we didn't really write political songs. Like our songs are mostly
social commentary,
social issues rather than political issues, like people being assholes the majority of the time.
Do you still feel that it's a good way to get across your message then, even if it's not necessarily political?
It definitely is, but you can fall into the trap of being in a massive echo chamber where everybody's just agreeing with each other all the time, which isn't healthy either.
Now playing Ultraviolence by Permo.
Suicide at the train station, ultra-violence mutilation, #1 viral sensations, horror murder simulations, post-traumatic illustrations, parental guidance regulations, pompous full of medication.
What music are you guys listening to at the moment, each of you?
Well, there's not really been much out this year so far. Anything new.
Mm-hmm.
The new Shame album is really good. I really like that.
It doesn't have to be new, just like what you're listening to now. It could be old.
It's always the same. Just Pixies on repeat.
Nice.
Fucking Radiohead.
Not so much that. Not so much that now.
I love Radiohead.
Just a phase.
But I feel like when you go through phases, like you won't listen to them for 3 months, and then you won't stop listening to them for 2 weeks,
and then you're depressed,
and then you come back to it.
I think that's what it is.
I think my most played playlist recently has been like I've got a Jamaican ska playlist because I play it to my son when he's in the bath. Nice. I don't know why. I just think it sounds like bath tunes, but but then I quite like it anyway, so I just play it all the time.
Does he enjoy it?
Desmond Decker and all that.
Yeah, their Desmond Decker's great. What was it you said? Does your son like it? Does your son like the tunes?
Aye. Well, he just likes being in the bath, but he likes all music. Like ever since he was like he's nearly a year old now, but he's like since he's been able to sit up, he like bobs his head and that when we play songs. And he used to kick. Like I used to play Never Fight a Man with a perm to him when he was like still inside my wife, and he used to kick when he heard like the drums and that. Like it's probably just a coincidence, but like he used to kick when you played the music and stuff. So
He
I
might
think he's
become a
going to be a.
drummer.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a drummer when he's older.
Day
Like,
one.
No way your fucking abilities, he's not like.
I know I'm fucking shy in the drums. Like. With no bad timing, I'm just fucking going to get the coordination for it.
No, it's so hard. Juliana's a drummer, and I don't fucking have a clue how you do it.
You can do a bit. Tash knows how to sing the drums as well.
We started to what, the drums?
To sing them.
Oh yeah, we sing the drums, so we go like rah ba cha ba. We like pretend
Yeah.
we are the drums.
That's actually the basis for me and Hamish's communication. when he's
Or
trying
I'll
to get...
do like hand movements. I'm like, right, when I play this, you do that. And, that's just how we work out how we're playing songs.
Yeah, let's hope your son's not a drummer, because then I think he'll just be doing the drums with his mouth if that's the way you're doing it. What about you, Ross? What have you been listening to? Other Ross?
I've been listening to a lot of J. Cole's new album recently. Like, I think he's not like I don't like him that much, to be honest, but every album he comes out with, like, about 60% of it's absolute ass, and then the other 40% I've got it on repeat.
Nice.
Like, it just happens for every album that he's got. But I've been listening to a lot of J. Cole. And a lot of Biggie as well. I've always been a big Biggie fan, but I've watched that documentary on him not too long ago. I've just not stopped listening to him, man.
Nice, he's
That's
so good.
unreal.
Do you guys have any advice for bands starting out?
I think what's worked best for us, probably to the extent that we're not really that bothered, is that we let folk. We didn't like go out actively and seek any like gigs or like attention or that. We'll just let that come to us if they want to like work with us in that class, because then you know that like it's not going to be no like a scam or that, but it's not
not
like,
forced.
It's just based on credibility. Do you know what I mean? And integrity. It's not based on like going out and being like, please. No, that's a bad thing to do. Obviously, like that's sound, but it's just not how we work, is it?
Yeah.
I think we're just too chilled out. Like, we're too fucking laid back. Like, there could be. There's probably a happy medium between what we're like and what you could be like, and it's kind of like that. Like, didn't be too fucking chilled out and not enough up. But we weren't really, when we started it, we weren't like, well, we're going to be fucking massive. We're going to be the next massive band ever. We were just like, we're going to do this because we like doing it. We like writing these tunes, and we're just fucking having a laugh in that.
Like, see what happens.
And we're not lazy about it either.
us.
I think we're always like, on you go, son, man. So
we just fucking go to practice, have a laugh, write a couple of tunes, and then we just like playing gigs. That's it. It's no.
But that's how
Like,
it should be.
it's going to be in that serious, but it's got more serious as it's progressed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that sort of method of letting things come to you works because in Scotland it's a smaller music scene and there's sort of less competition for the genre that you're in? Do you think that if you were to be in London doing it, would you let people just come to you?
I would say if you're ambitious and you want to be big, like, you're not big by any means, but like if you wanted to be a big band, you'd need to put the work in. Whereas we're just like, we'll see what happens. Like, we weren't arsed either way. It's probably a bad attitude to have, if I'm being totally honest, if you want to progress. But for us, we were like, the first thing we said was, when it stops being fun, we're no fucking doing it anymore.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it though.
You can get too into it, if you can't. I mean, like, you can get too obsessed with numbers and shit like that. Like, it's good time. Aye, like, it's not about money or anything like that for us. It's just about fucking playing decent music that people enjoy. Anything.
Yeah. And you say you're like super laid back about it, but at the same time you are like rehearsing, playing loads of gigs.
Aye.
Like, you've got loads of recordings out already, and you only like formed in 2019, you were saying?
Aye,
so it's like, that's loads compared to, you know,
we're laid back in the sense that we're not laid back in the musical sense. Like, we want our music to sound good, and we want our music, like, we want to enjoy playing our music, and we want to play it well, and we want people to enjoy it. But on the grand scheme of being like a huge band and having all these followers and that, on the social media side of it, we're quite laid back. Like, we're not that into that kind of stuff, if you know what I mean. Just have fun.
Just it sounds quite cliche, like, have fun in that, but like that's what sort of motivates you.
What's the point, aye?
Aye.
What's the point in
the
it?
fucking
Aye.
point?
Definitely.
Yeah.
We
just
don't know
wanna
take it seriously.
compare
I think
Get bashed.
we
That's-
do. We like we refine the tunes just because like we'd be fucking we'd hit our day if we put certain shit out. I think.
Yeah.
Aye.
So can you tell our listeners where they can find you online, like your music or social media or anything?
Permo on Spotify, Apple Music, all your major streaming platforms. TikTok, we're on TikTok if you want to make a TikTok.
Are we?
Hi. Fucking,
I'm gonna have a
it's
field
free,
day with
mate.
that
I
one.
just fucking tick all the boxes and distribute it. Fucking Instagram music, Deezer, Tidal,
You know
all the-
everything. Fucking hell.
fucking everything. Anything we can be on, we're on it.
Yeah.
Sick.
Not
If
Twitter though.
Facebook- I think Facebook's We Are Permo, like for the fucking link, and then Twitter and Instagram it's Permo_.
So you are on Twitter. So basically, you're singing that song about yourselves.
I don't know. You've just got to
We
do
don't-
these things, didn't you?
Aye. We don't really use
I
it, to be
don't
fair.
we didn't tweet very much. I think it's like mainly just when we've got a single, it's like here's our single, it's out now.
Yeah, that was like us with this. We were so ambitious. We literally put ourselves on so many social media platforms. TikTok and Twitter have been fucking abandoned. They have been.
I think
dead.
we've got one post on Twitter. And we're like, you can find us on
Facebook.
Twitter. But yeah.
Like Instagram's our main one, so if you're wanting to keep up to date with us, it's probably Instagram's your best.
Yeah. This has been Back Catalogues. I'm Natasha.
I'm Juliana.
And we've had Permo on. Thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thank
No
you.
worries.
Oh, cheers for having us.
Aye, thank you.